Before I get into anything today, I want to describe your morning to you, and I want you to tell me in the comments how accurate this is. Okay, so you wake up, whether it's naturally or with an alarm, I'm guessing an alarm, and you immediately pick up your phone, you look at it, and you are bombarded with texts, emails, notifications from either team members or clients or vendors or agencies who all need you it before your feet even hit the floor, right? If that's you, let me know in the comments. Give me a yep, that's me. So here's the thing, right? Most of the stuff that's probably hitting your inbox right now is not something that actually needs you as the strategic leader that you're meant to be. What they actually need is just a decision. And that decision, the majority of the time when I'm working with women, can be made by someone else on their team when their business is structured correctly, right? So having a morning like this, it's not chaos and it's definitely not failure that you did something wrong. It's just like relentless day after day after day. And it's like its own feeling of exhaustion, right? Like there's exhaustion from working a lot. But I remember waking up every single morning. I owned a senior home care franchise. And so we ran 24 hours a day. And my morning would be I would wake up in the morning, I would pick up my phone after my alarm like jarred me out of sleep. And because my phone was already in my hand, right? I would be like, I would have the report for the morning of what went on overnight. And I would be like, ugh, ugh. And it was just relentless. Every day there was something. Before I even got out of bed, it was like, okay, that person didn't show up last night. Okay, that client had an issue. Okay, that person's in the hospital, so we don't have service. Okay, this is going on. Like it was so draining to wake up in the morning and have that in my inbox before I even got out of bed, right? And so here's what I want you to notice. You're making real money at the level that you're at, right? Whether you're at 1 million or a little bit below or a little bit above it, the demand is there. You have figured out what works in your business to create revenue, and you are doing that every day. And you have a team, right? Whether you have employees or contractors, you have a team. But the problem is, you are still the reason that it all works every single day, right? This is the problem in business, and this is what we're diving into more today. So, hey there, I'm Salen. I am a systems and scale strategist for service-based women business owners around the $1 million mark who are required in the daily operations for their business to function. And so, what I help these women do is integrate my 4-pillar program called the 16-hour owner system, which allows you to step from being the daily operations kind of manager to a strategic leader that you were meant to be. So if you feel like you're spending all of your time in the daily operations, give me a me in the comments as we're coming on. And then we're going to move into a tough truth here because I know this personally. But I'm also, it seems like right now there's an epidemic of this going on in service-based businesses for women, and they don't even realize it, and you're not alone. And so today we're talking about that. So here's the uncomfortable truth nobody in this space will say to you. Okay, I need you to hear this from someone who has done it. And I feel like back in the day, I needed someone to say this to me. And I had a coach tell me something nice and it hit home, but it took me a little bit to figure it out. So, a business that still depends on you to function is not a business, it's a very expensive job. Let me say that again. A business that still depends on you to function is not a business, it's a very expensive job. This is not a character flaw, okay? You built a business by being the most capable person in it. Like, you're incredible, you're a rock star, you're amazing. You have caught every problem before it became a disaster. You held the standard because you are the standard, right? High standards in your business. That model has worked, but it has also made you the bottleneck. And this is where things need to shift, right? The woman who built her first $1 million in business, and hello, totally guilty. I did this through, controlling everything, perfectionism, personal oversight. That is the exact same woman who is capping her revenue at 1 million-ish wherever you are, and you can't get to that next revenue level because you have no more to give, right? You've been giving your all right now in the daily operations, and your business can't scale. You are in the growth phase, not the scale phase. You cannot scale because you have capped it because it relies on you. This is where you need to switch your identity of who you are in the business. You are no longer the operations manager. You want to step into the role of a strategic owner, right? An owner that works smarter, who leads with vision, who uses metrics to make decisions and not just gut instinct, and who leads differently. So here's the thing, right? When I made this shift in my business, it was because it was 9 a.m. on a weekday morning, and I was sobbing in my car after covering another shift for a caregiver who had no-showed, right? This was my line in the sand. I had literally taken care of a couple for 3 hours in a suit and heels because I fully expected to introduce that caregiver to them, and they didn't show up. But when I got in the car that day and I was sobbing my eyes out, right, because I was so burnt out after 3 years of working 80-hour weeks, I finally admitted that the business I had built was built completely around me, and it could not survive without me. This is not a scalable business. It was a trap that I had built for myself. My open door policy more looked like a revolving door at Macy's on Black Friday. It would just spin all day long. Salen, do you have a second? Can I ask you something? Hey, do you have a quick moment? I was looking at this and I just wanted to get your feedback on this all day long. I would pray for 5 p.m. to arrive. When the team would go home, the phones would go to my on-call person, and I could kick off my suit jacket and heels and finally get my work done for another 2 to 3 hours that night, right? Because everything during the day revolved around me. And so if this is where you are right now, this is the shift that you need to make. It's not about just adding another system or adding another team member or spending more marketing or advertising dollars to bring in more revenue. It's about an identity shift of saying, this can no longer happen. This business cannot rely on me. Make sense? The magical thing and the funny thing, right, is that when you do this draw a line in the sand moment, it's almost like magically overnight, something happens, something shifts in your brain. It happened for me. It happens for so many clients and women that I talk to, right? It's like I'm never going back to how things were, and we're only going forward. And so here's what I want to show you what it looks like when you make this identity shift and you commit to making this shift in your business, right? Not theoretically, this is from my own business and from women I've worked with inside this exact problem. So, in my personal business, I had $1 million business. It required 80-hour weeks. When I made that shift, I went to 3.3 million in 16-hour weeks and ran it remotely for 5 years and sold it before age 40. Not because I worked harder, because I finally stopped being the reason it worked. That was the shift. Now, let me tell you about my client, Jennifer. She had been in business 16 years. She ran an amazing business, super successful, right? But what happened was when a member of her team left, she realized that pieces of her business were not only in that team member's head, but that a lot of her business was outdated. Like her SOPs and systems weren't being followed, and everything was in their team's head, and they were doing a lot of workarounds to make it happen. We spent 6 months redesigning everything, and she then had a business that could function without her. And when she needed to leave the state to go handle a family emergency, that business was able to run without her because she had done the work prior. Now, we didn't rebuild her entire business. We refined and fine-tuned, right? Those SOPs and the systems, and we created clear job ownership. And we built the decision rules that stopped questions from routing back to her. That's it. That's the work. I like to compare my work to a high performance race car mechanic. Those race car mechanics think like Daytona 500, right? They don't come in and give you a brand new motor. They fine tune what's already working to get you that edge, to get you a little bit faster without doing more work, right? It's all about getting that little bit more, that 10% more. That's what we do in business. We're not going to like overhaul your entire business. We're going to go in there and fine tune the success you've already built. This is exactly what we do in the Simply Rich Business Experience, right? This is not a course. It's not a coaching program where we're just going to talk about your business. This is not talk therapy, right? This is a full structural redesign installed in your business over 12 months. And I'm going to walk you week by week by week on what to do. So that way, literally, the first phase 1 is 3 months. We're in your business. We're digging in. We're fine tuning. Phase 2 is where we test. This is where most women struggle. You do the work to create those SOPs, but then you don't test them. Phase 2 is critical to get to phase 3. We will continue working through anything that didn't get fixed in phase 1, right? And then phase 3 is where you become that strategic owner, that strategic leader in your business who's looking at who's my next future hire? How much can I pay them? Can I take off and take that 30-day trip like I did back in 2012 with being fully unplugged kind of deal? These are all the things you do as a strategic leader. You're making decisions based on metrics, right? I have a framework called Metrics Make You Money Method, right? These are the kind of things that you're doing at this level. You're no longer guessing. You're no longer going on gut instinct alone. You are literally have a business that has all of the signs, and it's telling you what steps to take every single day. And by your side, you have me, and there's going to be 11 other women in the room who are going to support you in this journey, because as they ask questions, you're going to hear what they're going on, and we're all just going to work together. 12 months from May 11th, we're starting May 11th. So next May, you are literally going to look at your business and your life, and you are going to be shocked at how far you've come and how much your business has grown and how much your team has expanded, because you're going to integrate all of these frameworks into your business. So that way it runs without you in the daily operations. Now, if this is something that you're like, yes, I absolutely need this, then I want you to comment experience below. There is an amazing founding client collective opportunity. When you join me in April, there is a reduction in the price, a price bonus. There is also an amazing incentive package, which is including weekly coaching one-to-one with me and a snail mail package to celebrate. And so if you are like, okay, I am ready, 1 year, let's do this. I want to be out of my business and working as the strategic leader and not the person handling all the fires, come and experience and let's have a conversation. And here's the thing. If I can do this, you can do this. I have helped so many women make this shift in their business, and now it's time for you to do the same. I want you to have a business and not just a glorified job that you've built. So I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I will see you. I will not be here next week. I am heading to Orlando for the day. See you later.